Okay, everybody, let's get back into engineering graphics. As a note, if you wonder why the intro changed, my students told me I should. That's why I do my classes. But back to it. Now, what are we going to be practicing today? Well, I realize there's quite a few mistakes that happen when it comes to patterns and that come when it happens to mirroring. And I wanted to show you some of those today, specifically, to help you with that. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so in a sketch, just making my regular thing here, and gonna zoom in here, good. Now the first thing I want to show you is what happens when you're patterning. So let's say right here, I'm gonna do something fairly simple. I should make it super simple. I'm gonna have a circle, okay? And I'm gonna put two circles on this circle. One at the top, and one at the bottom. Okay. And just because I'm going to make those circles the same size. So I've got two circles, same size, going around this circle here. Which make for construction because I don't really care about it. Now, I'm going to pattern these circles. So I'm going to click on these guys because I want to do a circular pattern. Okay. And that looks good to me. I want just 4 of them, so we're good. Wonderful. Now, obviously, all I have right here are 4 circles, right? That's it. It even says 4. When I select them, look, 4. Wrong. This is where one of the most painful mistakes will come into this. It doesn't matter in some cases, some things will still be fine, but if you're trying to use the evaluate button to find like section properties, it will say something like this. This sketch has intersecting contours. Because what happened was I didn't just pattern this guy 4 times, I also patterned the bottom guy 4 times. So when I click on this guy right here and delete it, there's another one underneath. Click right here, delete it, another one underneath. In this case, you can see a visible difference in the color of this circle versus this circle that can give you a little bit of a heads up that you have overlapping contours. It's not always that easy to find. Sometimes you can't find it at all. And yes. Okay, now I've just got 4 happy days. It worked okay. So that's the first one. Just be very careful that if you're patterning something, that you're not going to pattern it in such a way that it overlaps itself or overlaps something else. If I wanted to do this correctly, so I've got 2 and I want to pattern them. Normally I would just do 1 because I'm going all the way around a circle, but if I had to do 2 for some strange reason, like they were slightly different, well, they can't be slightly different. If they're slightly different, it wouldn't matter, but if they're going to be overlapping, for some strange reason I had to do this, there is a way to do it properly. Go to your circular sketch pattern right here. And instead of saying 360 degrees, you simply say 180 degrees. Boom. And I cut down the number of guys to half. And of course there you go. That should have been fine. 180 degrees, yeah, equal spacing 2. Yeah. Now that is intriguing. I think it's been above again. I totally did. Oh, I feel like a doofus. Sorry. Okay. Not 180 degrees. I can't do math today. I would switch this to 90 degrees. There we go. And I would only have 2 of them. Because 1, 2, 90 degrees, 1, 2, 90 degrees. But that requires a lot of math. Like, did you really want to have to do math just to get 4 circles? Just avoid the pain and suffering, only have 1 circle and pattern it all the way around. Or whatever you're doing, pattern it all the way around rather than making something special there. Now the second thing we're going to do is just what I'm going to be having you do for this lesson. I'm going to show you one error that you're probably going to make when you do it. Painful error. It's very frustrating, but it's not too bad. So, the shape looks something like this. I just put a circle around this origin. And I'm going to drag it out here. And then drag this guy out here. Okay. So, we did something similar to this for a quiz. So, hey, you work ahead, maybe it'll help for the quiz. It's not exactly like this, so you're not getting any extra help too much. Boop. Okay. Looks good. You're like, I've seen a shape like that before. You have. But now we're going to turn this person into some little, I don't even know what to call this. Looks like some ancient art for a human being. So I'm having this rectangle be coincident. The corners of it be coincident with that arc, which means it touches. So both of them are touching on this arc. Second thing I'm going to say is that, hey, both of these sides right here, they're equal. Making them equal, they will be centered on that arc. Second thing I'm going to do, or last thing I'm going to do, is I'm going to go ahead and start adding some dimensions, and then I'm going to cut it out. So this guy right here is going to have a diameter of 5. Okay. This guy right here is going to have a diameter of 10. As a note, since I have it cut, I can only dimension the radius. So I'm going to have to do 10 divided by 2. You can do math when you're doing dimensions, which I absolutely love. So we have a diameter of 15. So that's 15 divided by 2. Okay, that's looking good so far. I'll make this 4 wide. And I'll make the distance from here to the center 15. Okay. I think it looks good. And I'm going to go ahead and get these little lines like the middle here. And where this line is right here, like, I thought I got rid of this. You did. It's just showing the continuation of the arc. That's the dimension line, not a solid line. It can be confusing with trim. Like, I got rid of it, but it's still there. If you can't trim it, it's not a real line. It's just for dimensions. Now, what I want to do is use something we've got a little more familiar with now, which is the linear sketch pattern. So I want to create some copies of this guy. I want to go up to the right. So going to the right, I'm going to go like 25. There we go. And I'm going to go up at an angle, so 45 degrees. Perfect. I like it. Looks good. And you know what? I'll even increase 2 copies. As a note, when you're doing this, if you want copies, if that's what you're thinking about, it's this number minus 1 is how many copies you have, because the original one counts. That's the first instance. Okay. Now here is the second mistake most people make when they are doing this. All I want to do is mirror this guy right across the origin. So to do that, I'm going to set up a nice little mirror line right here, going straight through the origin. I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to mirror it. And it worked great. Look, all fine. And so now once again, I'm going to go to evaluate and find out all the information that I need. Section properties. Oh! This sketch cannot be used for a feature because an endpoint is wrongly shared by multiple. Oh, what's going on here? Well, once again, you might get a little clue here if you look at the colors. It's kind of hard because the black and blue do give things a different idea, but this is slightly lighter than this. So what happened? Well, I mirrored this guy across the origin, but he was already mirrored across the origin. So I more or less just overlapped him again. So right here, if I delete this line, yes, I know. Suddenly there's another line, you see it? And another line. And the painful thing is I would have to go through and actually didn't do all of those. Surprising enough, wow. I would have to go through almost all of these and figure out which ones were doubled up. I don't feel like doing that though. That's just too painful to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to here and just not mirror it. If it's already mirrored, don't select it when you're mirroring it. Otherwise, it's just pain and suffering. So I'm going to select these 2 guys right here. I'm going to mirror them. Just them, because they have nothing over here. There's nothing that they intersect. And I'm going to go down here and say I'm going to mirror about this line. Okay, now everything should be fine. If you're wondering why these guys aren't fully defined when this guy is, it's simply because I didn't tell it to dimension them, so they can move out. And now I'm going to go to evaluate, section properties, and I can find my information what I hope to find. Whew. Okay, so it wasn't too terrible. It's one of those things though that you have to be very careful, otherwise you're going to have a bad time. So that's it for this time. Hopefully this helps you. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you all next time as we learn some more. Have a great day. Bye-bye.